Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Guys, the combine has started. I believe today is the day that quarterbacks are actually throwing, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm gonna make sure to update you guys on Twitter as much as I can when I hear about news and stuff. I know it was either yesterday or Monday they did a lot of interviews, and I'll be honest, I really liked what I was hearing from Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, and Bailey Zappi. I really liked hearing from Bailey Zappi. He seems to know quite a bit. I like his attitude. He could be a dark horse for a really good performing quarterback in this class, but we don't want to get too deep into that. We're gonna do a 4 round mock draft today, guys. So sit tight and let's get on into it. So start draft. I mean, I think the first round are probably gonna rush through quite a bit. I mean, I think a lot of these picks are ones that you guys kind of already know my opinions on a lot of them. I'm gonna go Evan Neal, then Aiden Hutchinson. Because let's be honest, a lot of you guys watching this have probably seen my dozens of 1 round mock drafts. So it's going to be the later rounds, I think, that get more interesting. So for the Texans, I think we're going to go Akim Ekwonu. They really need to really fix that offensive line. I think they want to give Davis Mills the best chance possible to succeed. I think he's really got a good chance to prove that he's the guy this year. Number four, I've been saying before, I really like Jermaine Johnson. Like, I genuinely think he might be better than Kayvon Thibodeau. Call me crazy, but I think the dude's gonna be an absolute monster in the NFL. I think he has a really similar play style to Von Miller, Hassan Reddick, those type of guys. And I think he can honestly grow into a player that has that type of impact as well. I really like Jermaine Johnson, so I think it makes plenty of sense for the Jets. But then the Giants are on the board here, and I'm going to go ahead and give them Charles Cross. I've said before, I honestly think Cross can play either tackle position. So have Andrew Thomas left tackle, Charles Cross right tackle. So then for the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to go ahead and have them take Malik Willis right here. I still think he's the best quarterback in this class, but I really like Kenny Pickett a lot too. I really like Kenny Pickett. Sam Howell is up there for me too. Those are my top three quarterbacks, if you didn't know, but Malik Willis, he just has too high of an upside. I like the kid's attitude. I think he's going to mesh well. Well, I think he's really going to impress Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer and Matt Rule when they interview him. So I think they'll want to take him. Then for the Giants, there's a couple things I'm really tempted to do here. I'm really thinking about Kayvon Thibodeau right here. They could definitely use the pass rush help, but Tyler Linderbaum is also on the board, and they could definitely afford to double dip on the offensive line. They definitely need the offensive line. I think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna snag Linderbaum right here. So let me go get him. And then that leaves the Falcons with the perfect opportunity to snag Kayvon Thibodeau. And I know some people say Thibodeau, some say Thibodeau. I kind of switch between which one I'm saying. I don't think it matters a whole lot, but yeah, Falcons get an awesome pass rusher right there. And then the Broncos are now on the board, and given the board right here, I think we're going to just I'm really debating between Kyle Hamilton, Ahmad Gardner, and Derek Stingley. I think that young cornerback duo with Ahmad Gardner and Patrick Surtain is just it's too sexy of a duo to pass up on. I mean, it's too good. So I think Broncos take Ahmad Gardner right here. But then the Jets are on the board. This is another case that we could definitely take Hamilton or Stingley. I've said before this is a strong free agent corner class, and an incredibly deep draft for corners. Like I've never seen anything like it. There's some really talented corners in this class. So really the Jets could afford to pass on a corner right now. There is a big drop off in safety. So I don't know if they'll want to pass on this, but I could also see them trying to sign a free agent safety as well. So I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to take Treylon Burks, who's actually my number one receiver in this class. And really, I don't think it's close. I think there's a lot of solid receivers in this class, but I don't think there's anyone that completely blows my mind compared to the others. But I think Treylon Burks definitely has the highest potential. So he'll really be able to help out Zach Wilson there. But then the Washington Commanders, still not used to saying that. They're on the board here, and I think we're gonna go with Kyle Hamilton. They really need the help on defense, or well, in the secondary specifically. Although, let's be honest, I'm not sure if they're even gonna have this pick right here because, Ron Rivera has been extremely vocal, including at the combine, that it doesn't matter what you give up for a superstar quarterback. All that matters is, the end result. So it kind of sounds like he's going to do anything and everything he can to get a superstar quarterback. I heard, don't know how true it is, but I heard that they actually called up the Chiefs about Mahomes. I'm sure that went absolutely nowhere, but it's interesting. But then the Vikings are on the board now, and we're going to go with Derek Stingley. They need some cornerback help. They've had kind of a tough run with corners lately, so I think that makes plenty of sense right there. Then for the Browns, we are going to go with our usual pick in Garrett Wilson right here. I think he's just the perfect fit for the Browns. I think it makes plenty of sense there. Then for the Ravens, I am going to go with David Ajabo this time. Reason for that is, they drafted Odafe Owe last year, and he played really well, actually. In fact, the first half of the season, he was kind of one of the higher candidates for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then things kind of slowed down later on, but pairing him up with David Ajabo, that's going to make one of the better young pass rush duos in the league. And really, I think the Ravens want to get younger on the D line anyways, younger and faster. So David Ajabo is a perfect one to do that. I mean, he's one too that can stand up at outside linebacker and blitz off the edge if they need him to. I think that'll help in packages where, say, it's like 3rd and 2 or 3, where the other team could very well run and they need defensive tackles up there to help stop the run as well, but still want to have some heat coming off the edge, if that makes sense. So I think he's a good fit for the Ravens there. I think he's exactly what they want. Then the Eagles are on the board. Eagles fans already know what I'm gonna pick here, guys. This isn't a pick I'm ever gonna change. Okay, Devin Lloyd to the Eagles is just, wow, chef's kiss. Like it's the perfect fit. I will not understand why people aren't giving Devin Lloyd the credit he deserves. The dude is just an absolute baller. And really, I think the combine's going to help his stock even more. I mean, I think way he doesn't go, the only way he doesn't go to the Eagles here is if someone snags him beforehand. So yeah, I don't think he's falling past the Eagles. I really don't. But then at 16, the Eagles go ahead and let's see. I'm kind of eyeballing Andrew Booth right here. He's my number 3 corner. Keep in mind, there's genuinely like 6 or 7 corners in this class that could be real NFL starters. Like I really like this cornerback class. This last week I actually spent a lot of time studying specifically corners. I really studied up on Ahmad Gardner, Derek Stingley, Andrew Booth, Roger McCreary, Kyrie Lam, who I also really like, who's a lot of people are really low on. Trent McDuffie, Kyler Gordon. All of those guys, I really think can be first round corners and quality NFL starters. Like, they're really good. But out of them, currently I have Andrew Booth ranked number 3. It's so hard to rank him. I think a lot of it is about fit, but I think Booth would be a really good fit in the Eagles system. Pair him up with Darius Slay. I think that's a really good corner duo. So I think we're going to snag Andrew Booth here. Then the Chargers are on the board here, and they're going to snag Jordan Davis. He, simply put, the Chargers' rush defense wasn't very good this last year. They really need a big body D tackle in the middle of that D line, and I think he's going to have kind of the impact or role that Derek Brown has for the Panthers. That they didn't draft him to become this, big, huge playmaker that's getting 12 sacks a season. They drafted him to eat up double teams, really help stop the run so that, the players around him can get that production and, well, teams can't run on them. So I think that's what Jordan Davis is going to be kind of meant for, and I think he's going to be a good fit there with the Chargers. Then the Saints are now on the board, and I've been saying time and time again they need to re-sign Jameis Winston. I think they will. I think they're gonna do some looking at the combine, see if there's anyone that they think is worthwhile before they re-sign Jameis. Kind of do their research on everyone. But I could also see, like, they've recently been trying to free up a lot of cap space. That could honestly be so they can re-sign Jameis. I mean, I don't think he's going to re-sign for just the veteran minimum or anything like that. So, yeah, that might be why. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and give him a weapon because he didn't have much for weapons last year and still played pretty well. We're going to give him Jameson Williams. Then the Eagles are back on the board, and I think we got to go edge. I think we're going to snag Trayvon Walker. Walker can actually play inside or outside. He's kind of like a Cam Hayward, maybe even Aaron Donald type of player where he can play out on the edge or inside at D tackle. Just kind of wherever the team needs him. And really where the Eagles want to get younger on the D line and more versatile, I think Walker is a good fit for them. Karlaftis can also do that, but Walker, I think, is just a better version of Karlaftis, to be honest. I don't think Karlaftis is going to get as much of the pass rush production that Walker gets. So... And then 20, the Steelers are on the board. I'm going to go ahead and give them Kenny Pickett. I hear they've been connecting pretty well. pretty well with Pickett at the combine. So that's something to monitor. And really, I mean, Pickett played for the Pittsburgh Panthers. I mean, I could very well see him wanting to stay home and play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think that's a good fit. Then the Patriots are now on the board, and we're gonna give them Nakobe Dean. I've said multiple times they love their linebackers. Bill Belichick likes having a dominant defense. Nakobe Dean, much like Devin Lloyd, and like I want to make this clear. I don't think there's a huge gap between Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. I think these two are. I think it's for comparison. I think it's gonna be like in 2019 how you had Devin Bush and Devin White. So many people had them ranked, neck and neck, just so close together. I think this is how Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean are going to be this year. Like, they're both so extremely talented. So I could see either one going before the other, but I have Devin Lloyd a little bit higher personally. But Dean will be an elite linebacker in the Patriots system. So I don't think Bill Belichick would want to pass up on that. And then 22, the Raiders are on the board. Honestly, there's two guys right here. Well, actually three, to be honest. I really like Zion Johnson too. But really, it's going to be offensive line right here. They want to fix their offensive line even more. I think they honestly need interior more than tackle. And Kenyon Green, I can very well see being a Pro Bowl guard, even his rookie year, to be honest. I think that's what the Raiders want. So we're gonna give them Kenyon Green. And really, I'm not even sure if Green's gonna really fall this far. It's kind of bold if you ask me, but and who knows, Penning might not fall this far either. But yeah, here the Cardinals are on the board, and I definitely think they take corner regardless. Who knows? They may be active in free agency for a corner and then might snag one in the second round instead. But at least for right now, where free agency hasn't really happened yet, I think they want to take a corner. Normally, I'd take Kyrie Lam here. He's my number 4 corner. Again, I think he deserves to be a first rounder, okay? There's so many good corners in this class. I'm going to say it time and time again. But I think this time, I think we're going to take Trent McDuffie, just because he's another guy I think deserves to be a first round corner. And then the Cowboys are on the board. They also need a guard. I don't think they're going to re-sign Connor Williams. And really, I think they want someone better than him. And I think Zion Johnson's the perfect replacement. He's gonna help Zeke's production so much. I think that Cowboys' offensive line is gonna be nearly perfect again, like it was a few years ago. So now the Bills are on the board. I think they're gonna snag the. Well, actually, hold up, just for a second. Hold on. All right. So the Bills could very well just take Trevor Penning right here because they do need some offensive line help. But there is going to be an offer coming in here that I don't think they can refuse. And I think. Oh, hold up. I need to hurry and sign in so I can make this trade. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I was able to sign in and reset up the draft. Sorry that took a while. But yeah, so we're gonna do a trade with the Cincinnati Bengals. So Bills and Bengals. Okay. So the Bengals are gonna offer their first and a third. Oh wait, I guess I need to build this the other way around. Hold on. Is it not gonna let me? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think I have to build it the other way around. So we're gonna offer first and third round pick for this spot. They're gonna try to get. Let's see. I don't know. You think that's a fair offer right here? I'm trying to think how much value the Bills will need. But I know the Bengals, really, to fix their offensive line, are going to want to do about anything to get up here. Especially for a guy like Trevor Penning, who is who I'm actually planning the Bengals to trade up for. Let's see. I think we'll do that, and then the Bills send a 6th round pick in return. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair offer because it is the back end of the first round. Picks aren't quite as valuable as, like, say, in the top 10. So yeah, Bengals are now on the board to go with Trevor Penning. And now they have a franchise tackle. And really, Penning can play left or right. So this still, like, it doesn't. They could still go out and get Teron Armstead in free agency and still draft, a tackle like Trevor Penning. Because, I mean, they need a left and a right tackle. I don't know that there's really anybody on that offensive line that is really secured, to be honest. So, yeah, let me know what you think of that trade. But then the Titans are now on the board, and I think we're going to go ahead and give them... Let's see. Call me crazy, Titans fans, but I'm going to go ahead and give them Daxton Hill. Kevin Byard and Christian Fulton need some help back there. They were really the only good pieces of that secondary this last year. Daxton Hill paired with Kevin Byard would instantly make that duo a lot better. Make that secondary as a whole a lot better. So teams aren't going to be able to throw deep on them as much anymore. Then the Bucks, are on the board now, and I'm going to go ahead and give them Chris Olave. I think, excuse me, I think he'll be a good replacement for Antonio Brown. And then the Packers are going to snag Drake London, big body receiver that can get contested catches. I think whether Aaron Rodgers is back or not, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to complain about, getting a new receiver. That's kind of what he's wanted for really the last few years. So, but then the Dolphins are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them George Karlaftis, help their pass rush a little bit. Then the Chiefs are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them... I think I'm going to go ahead and give them Devontae Wyatt. Wyatt and Winfrey both had a really good Senior Bowl, so that's why they're higher on this list now. But yeah, I think that'll definitely help out the Chiefs. Then the Bills are now on the board after that trade. And they're going to go ahead and snag Cam Thomas from San Diego State. And then now the Lions are back on the board. And, I've said multiple times, I think Jared Goff and Dan Campbell mesh really well. I think Dan Campbell likes him. But I could also really see him liking Sam Howell. I think I could see Sam Howell as the next quarterback for the Lions. I really could. I'm not sure the Lions could really pass on him. But let me hurry and check, though. They might be able to... Yeah, I think they're gonna first snag Jahan Dotson right here. Um, the reason for that is, I mean, the Jags are right there. They could very easily snag him right there too, and they wanna get a weapon for Sam Howell. So they kind of play it safe, make the Jags have to pick someone else. Um, I think. Let me see who else is on the board at wide receiver. So really, so I like George Pickens, but I think he's kind of a late second round pick. I'm not incredibly high on him. I really like Calvin Austin. Obviously, I'm not going to take him quite this early. I think he's going to be one of the, you know, steals in the draft later on. Um, so I think just for right now, we're going to pass on a receiver. I don't see anybody here quite worth it just yet. So instead, yeah, I think instead we're gonna go with Jaquan Brisker. Really help that secondary back there. And then the Lions get the guy that I mentioned in Sam Howell, and hey, he has a weapon here in Jahan Dotson now too, so it's a win-win. Um, then the Jets are now on the board, and we're gonna go ahead and give them Roger McCreary now. I really like Roger McCreary. I'll be honest, I was a little tempted to give them Kyrie Elam. I mean, again, there's so many good corners. I don't like. But the thing is, I don't think there's gonna be 7 corners taken in the first round. If there are, that'd be absolutely crazy. But I don't know, and it's just kind of hard to see or judge what corner is gonna fall into the second round. Um, so this time we're having McCreary. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm still just a little sick. But yeah, Roger McCreary, Kyler Gordon, and Kyrie Lam are the ones that fall into the second round today. And then the Giants are on the board here. I think this time we go ahead and give them Christian Harris. I'm a little bit higher on him than Chad Muma. Muma's really good too. I'm not gonna. This isn't a knock on Muma. It's more just I like Christian Harris a little bit more. Um, that's real. That's really it. And they need a good linebacker. I don't think Blake Martinez has really worked out the way they'd like. Um, So I think Christian Harris is going to be a good linebacker for him. And then now the Texans are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually give them David Bell. I'm I'm kind of tempted to give them Kenneth Walker though, because he's the best running back in this class, and I think by a pretty long shot. But the Texans have so many other needs, and running back is the most replaceable position in football. So yeah, let's go ahead and give them. Um, or well, actually, I think George Pickens is better than David Bell. It's close for me, but I think George Pickens is a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and give Davis Mills a weapon. And then now the Jets are back on the board, and now they take. I think now we're going to go ahead and have them take. Oh, it's between Kyler Gordon and Kyrie Lam. I love these two still. Like, that's how deep this class is. There's so many good corners. And, like, you can't forget about Tariq Woolen either. Like, he's really good too. Oh, man. This is difficult. I think we're going to go Kyler Gordon right now. I don't usually have Elam fall this far. But hey, Somebody's got to. I don't know who it is yet, but yeah, we're going to have Kyler Gordon go to the Jets here. Now the Bears are on the board. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and have them take David Bell. I think they are pretty desperate for some help for Justin Fields. I expect them to be pretty active in trying to get, a receiver for him, as well as maybe some offensive line in free agency. I think they're going to try really hard to help Justin Fields this year. But then the Broncos are on the board, and I'm actually going to go ahead and give them Desmond Ridder. I think I like him a little bit more than Matt Corral now. So, yeah, they get a more mobile quarterback right here. Now the Seahawks are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually give them Tyler Smith. Smith is honestly... He's a guy that could honestly go late first round. There's a lot of really talented guards in the NFL, or in this draft class. It's actually really nice to see there be so many good, offensive linemen here. But yeah, the offensive line is a reason that, Russell Wilson has been so frustrated the last few years anyways. I think the Seahawks want to finally get him a good O-line, and Tyler Smith will definitely improve that line. And then the Commanders are on the board, and I think now... So we had them take Kyle Hamilton earlier. I think what we do now is go ahead and... I'm going to give them Matt Corral. But I think you could also consider either Carson Strong or even Bailey Zappi. Okay, I know Zappi right now is a, third or fourth round projected quarterback, but I think he's going to be really good. I really do. I think too many people are sleeping on him. I think he's going to be good. So they could consider him right here, but I think right now we're going to go Matt Corral to the Commanders. Now the Falcons are on the board. They took edge earlier, so now they're going to go ahead and finally get my last first round ranked corner in Kaiir Elam. So now guys are about where they should be for corners. But yeah, now the Browns are on the board. They're going to go ahead and snag Perrion Winfrey. I mentioned earlier that Winfrey had a really, really good Senior Bowl. He kind of dominated, to be honest. Him and, I'm drawing a blank, Devontae Wyatt. Him and Devontae Wyatt dominated the Senior Bowl. So I really like seeing it. I think they could definitely use the D-line help. And yeah, they go ahead and take him. Then the Ravens are on the board. We had them take, I believe it was David Ajabo earlier. I think what we do now is actually go ahead and take... I'm going to be a little bold here. I'm going to have them take Daniel Falele. Reason for that is, like I said, the Ravens really like running a heavy zone run scheme, running the ball a lot. I don't think they're a team that really wants to pass more than they have to. And Daniel Falele, if he's going to be a successful tackle in the NFL, I think it'll be, in a scheme like this where they run the ball a lot, and especially, between the guards and tackles. Falele is like 6'8", 6'9", and like 375 pounds. Just absolute behemoth of a man. He's not real quick off the line of scrimmage. A lot of him is, I think it's a lot of raw talent, okay? He definitely needs to be coached up for his, his footwork, his quickness off the line. And I think early on, especially, he'll struggle against, speedy edge rushers. Um, but I think once he gets, coached up and gets better mechanics, I think he's going to be a really powerful right tackle for the Ravens. And again, if there's any scheme that he's going to succeed in, it's going to be the Ravens. So then the Vikings are now on the board. We had them take Derek Stingley earlier. Now I think we go ahead and give them. I think I actually like Jalen Petre more than Lewis Cine or Sign. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Cine. But yeah, I like Jalen Petre a lot. So then the Colts are on the board, and guys, they've been so freaking vocal about not wanting Carson Wentz anymore. So we give them another Carson, and the only reason we give them Carson Strong instead of Zappy is Strong is really good when he's behind a good offensive line. I don't know that Carson Strong will be very successful behind a bad offensive line at all, but the Colts have a really good offensive line. And Strong, I feel like he's one of the more pro-ready quarterbacks. Like I said in previous videos a while back, he has really similar mechanics to Tom Brady. He does well at reading the field. Just the dude's a statue. He can't scramble worth a crap. So early on, he may not be super exciting to watch, but I think he's going to be kind of like the Mac Jones of this draft class. Not super exciting, but he'll produce for the team. And especially behind a good offensive line like that, I think he'll succeed. But then the Chargers are now on the board, and I'm gonna go ahead. So we gave them Jordan Davis early on. I think this time now we go ahead and give them. I think we give them Boye Mafe this time, the best edge rusher remaining right now. Now the Saints are on the board. You know what? Malcolm Jenkins is getting really, really old. I don't know how much longer he's gonna play at even a decent level, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't retired this offseason, if I'm being honest. So I'm gonna give them Lewis Cine. And really, this gives them insurance that, especially if Marcus Williams were to leave in free agency, they're not going to have really a hole left right there because Lewis Cine replaces it. So, but then here at 50, the Dolphins take Kenneth Walker, the best running back in the class, and Dolphins finally have a running game. So here the Eagles go ahead and snag. I think they finally snagged a Marvin Leal right here. Best interior D lineman remaining. And then the Steelers are now on the board. We're going to go ahead and give them Sean Ryan. I think Ryan could honestly play tackle or guard. Guard is kind of the spot he's kind of more meant to play, but I think he'd be solid at tackle. I very much expect a big shift in the Steelers' offensive line this offseason, whether all of that is free agency or the draft. But I mean, they've got a lot of cap space. I mean, heck, I could honestly see them be really active for Teron Armstead as well. So that'll be interesting to monitor. For the Raiders, we're going to go ahead and give them Tariq Woolen, best remaining corner in the draft. Patriots are now on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them. Let's see. I think we're going to go ahead and give them Christian Watson. Give Mac Jones another weapon. Cardinals are on the board. We gave them corner earlier. Now we're gonna go ahead and give them edge. And honestly, I like Kingsley and Agberry or an Agbar. Sorry. Um, I like him better than Logan Hall, so we're gonna have them take him. Then the Cowboys are back on the board. They took Zion Johnson earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and give them. Yeah, let's go ahead and give them Logan Hall from Houston, best edge remaining. And now at this point, there's a pretty big drop off in edge. I do like Arnold Abikate a lot, so a team could probably still take him towards the back end of the second round. Um, but yeah, there's I like my J Sanders quite a bit too. Um, so I guess there's not like a huge drop off, but it's still there. But then the Bills are on the board, and now we go ahead and give them guard Jamari Salyer from Georgia. They really need interior offensive line help. I know they passed on Trevor Penning earlier to get that extra pick, but it pays off because they still get some offensive line help. And then the Falcons are now on the board. They are now going to go ahead and take Isaiah Spiller. Because the thing is, I don't think they're a big fan of Mike Davis. I could honestly see. So I believe they signed him to a 2-year contract last year. So he's got another year. I expect them honestly to cut Mike Davis, probably re-sign Cordero Patterson. But the situation there is he's going to play a lot of running back and receiver. And then I think Isaiah Spiller will be kind of that other running back that I'm not going to say he's going to be like a bell cow running back. He's not going to get 20 carries a game, but he's going to get 10 to 15 carries a game and still have a big workload. So yeah, now the Packers are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them Bernard Raymond. I mean, protect whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love. Give them some protection. Now the Bucks are on the board now, and honestly, I think we're gonna go ahead. Excuse me. I think we're gonna go ahead and double up on receiver. Give them John Mechie, because I don't personally see them being able to re-sign Chris Godwin in free agency. I don't know if it's gonna happen. So while they replaced Antonio Brown earlier, they still need to replace Chris Godwin. So now a receiver trio of Mike Evans, Chris Olave, and John Mechie. I think that's a pretty dang good receiver trio. I think it's still really good. So then the 49ers are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them. Ooh, I do like. Excuse me. I do like Darian Kennard more than Dylan Parham. Yeah. I think we're going to go ahead and give them Darian Kennard. Help that interior O line. Then the Chiefs are on the board. And let's see. We had them go. Let's see. I think we had them go D tackle earlier. Yeah, we had them getting Devontae Wyatt earlier. So now we're going to go ahead and actually give them. You know what, guys? I don't know. There's a couple picks there that I'm really tempted to make. There's a couple that I'm really tempted on. You know what? We're going to go ahead and get an edge rusher, get Arnold Abikate, really, really fix that D line. I mean, where you've got Devontae Wyatt, Chris Jones, now Arnold Abikate. I think Frank Clark is still under contract, but this gives you some insurance in case, in case you wanted to cut him, get some cap space. Or even after this next year, they won't have to worry about drafting one super high up. So I really like Arnold Abigate. I mean, he could honestly, if he performs well at the combine, he could honestly find himself at the tail end of the first round. So I really like him. Then the Bengals are now on the board. They traded up for a tackle early on in Trevor Penning. Now they go ahead and get a guard in Dylan Parham from Memphis. And then the Broncos are on the board. And so earlier they got, I believe it was Desmond Ridder and Ahmad Gardner. So we're going to go ahead and this time give them Chad Muma from Wyoming. I mentioned earlier that he's not, like, I don't know, I really like him, and his name's, I can't think of his name right now. The dude from Alabama, the linebacker from Alabama. What is his name? Christian Harris. Christian Harris. Those two aren't too far away from each other on my list. But I mean, I think they're both playmakers. Again, like I said earlier, it wasn't a knock on Chad Muma. Muma could honestly go a lot earlier on in this draft. But I just like Harris more. I just think I think he's a better playmaker. I think he has a higher upside. But now for the Jags, we finally give them that receiver for Trevor Lawrence that they so badly need, and we give them Calvin Austin. Guys, I was so tempted in that second round to go with Calvin Austin. He measured out today at 5'8", 170 pounds. That's honestly bigger than we expected, to be honest. Dude, this guy was killing it at the Senior Bowl. He was the best receiver, honestly, at the Senior Bowl. He was balling out. He plays a lot bigger than he really is. I expect him to run a 4.3, maybe even a little bit faster than a 4.3. He's speedy as hell. He's a really good route runner. Guys, do not sleep on Calvin Austin. I promise he's gonna be a good receiver. I think he's gonna make Trevor Lawrence pretty happy. So then for the Lions now, we're gonna go ahead and give them a linebacker, and we'll give them Damon Clark from LSU. And then the Giants are now on the board. We'll give them that edge rusher they so badly wanted in Myjai Sanders. Now the Texans are on the board. They also need an edge rusher now. I'll be honest, I like Drake Jackson more than Josh Pascal. So yeah, we're going to go Drake Jackson right here. This is a super deep edge rusher class as well, if you haven't noticed. Like, if there's two positions here that, you can afford to pass on in the first round because of depth, it's edge and corner. There's so many good corners and edges. So yeah. Then the Jets are now on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them... Oh, this is a tough one. This is definitely a tough one. Yeah, there's no safeties really worth taking right here. Ooh, I think we might have to go with offensive guard Ed Ingram. I almost said Evan Ingram. But no, we're gonna go Ed Ingram right here. The reason we're doing that is I don't know that there's another real worthwhile guard until like the 5th or 6th round. Um, and I don't know if the Jets really want to wait that long to get a quality level guard. And really, okay, so they've got Mekhi Becton at left tackle, George Fant at right tackle. Then they've got Elijah Vera Tucker, and then I believe it's Connor McGovern, if I'm not mistaken, at center. Throw in Ed Ingram at right guard. And then I'm not sure if Greg Van Roten is a free agent or if he's currently under contract, but they could afford to cut him if he is under contract and save some cap space. I do like Ed Ingram a lot. That hesitation wasn't anything against him. It was more so I just couldn't find really anybody else that the Jets really needed right there. So, but yeah, now the Jags are on the board. I think we go ahead and get the best tight end in the class now in Trey McBride. I think he's going to be an absolute baller. I think he's going to be a better blocking version of Dan Arnold last year. I mean, Arnold was a really good pass catching tight end, but he's too small to really do well at blocking. McBride can do both. So yeah, get 2 new weapons for Trevor Lawrence, and that's gonna really help his production quite a bit. Then the Bears are now back on the board. We're gonna go ahead and give them Nicholas Petit-Frere. Guys, up until a couple weeks ago, I had this guy as a first rounder. I think he could honestly go early to mid second rounder, to be honest. So if he falls this far, hell, get the help for Justin Fields. I think it makes plenty of sense. Now the Seahawks are on the board, and I think now we go ahead and go. Let's see. There's a lot of tight ends on the board right here. But there's not a whole lot of teams that I think really desperately need a tight end. I think we're going to go ahead and go with Travis Jones from UConn. Now we're going to go ahead and give Matt Corral a weapon in Sky Moore. Another guy that I was really tempted to draft in the second round. I just couldn't really justify the exact positions there. So now the Falcons are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them linebacker Brian Asamoah, from Oklahoma. Now the Broncos are on the board. We'll go ahead and give them, call me crazy, Broncos fans. I don't know if you guys really like this pick, but we're going to go with Isaiah Likely. Okay, I really like Likely. That's a lot of likes. But I really like him. I think he's a really talented tight end. Best case scenario, you have a really, really good duo between him and Noah Fant. But worst case scenario, I was hearing a lot over, I think it may have been mid-season, actually. I don't even think it was during the off-season, that Noah Fant wasn't real happy with the Broncos. I don't know how true it was. It was kind of rumors that I heard. Keep in mind, guys, so many rumors happen both during the season and after the season, so you kind of just have to assume, take it for what it is. But really, even if Noah Fant were to stay there, Isaiah Likely's a really good tight end. I mean, having that good of a tight end duo there is not going to be a bad thing at all. So I think I kind of like that fit to the Broncos. Now the Ravens are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them Darion Kendrick from Georgia. Vikings are now on the board. We'll go ahead and give them Fedarian Mathis from Alabama. Another really good D tackle. I mean, there's just good defensive linemen in general in this class. This is a good year to need a D lineman or an edge rusher. So then the Browns are on the board, and I'm really debating between Josh Pascal and Darian Beavers. I don't know when the Browns' next pick is, but let me see who's available both at linebacker and edge later on. So they got Quay Walker. I don't think he's gonna fall till their next pick. I do like Jesse Luketa. Penn State produces some good linebackers. Let me see what they have at edge rushers. Ooh, there's a big drop off. Nick Bonito might be drafted towards the end of the third or maybe even fourth round. Maybe Tyreek Smith. But other than that, the rest of these guys are probably fifth rounders, if I'm being honest. Fifth or sixth. So I think the Browns right here have probably just got to go Josh Pascal because there's better linebackers later on than edge rushers. So then the Chargers are now on the board, and we go ahead and go. They do need a tight end really bad. I think Jeremy Ruckert's probably the best tight end available right here. Cade Otton is really good too. But Jeremy Ruckert, I think, is a good blocker and pass catcher. I think he's going to be a good fit with Justin Herbert. And will honestly be a lot better than Jared Cook regardless. So then the Texans are on the board now, and we go ahead and give them, let's see, what corners and, yeah, not many great corners remaining. All of the good corners have been taken. I mean, there's some solid corners if you want to wait till the 5th or 6th round, but like as far as 3rd and 4th round corners go, not so much. It's too early for these guys, maybe 4th round. Honestly, I think we just go Breece Hall from Iowa State. Really help that run game. Now the Giants are on the board, and honestly, I'm not sure if they're gonna end up re-signing Evan Ingram, or actually, is he even a free agent? If he is, I mean, I could very well see them cutting him. Either way, they already cut Kyle Rudolph, so they're gonna need a new tight end regardless. I'm gonna go ahead and give them Cade Otton. There's some solid tight ends through this range. But then the Colts are on the board. I think at this spot, yeah, I think let's go ahead. Let me double check receivers. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give them Wan'Dale Robinson. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't another guy back there that I had higher on my board. Give them Wan'Dale Robinson to help out Carson Strong. Now the Eagles are on the board, and I think now, let's see, I think they've already got multiple running backs, so I don't think we go Kyren Williams. We already went linebacker, obviously. Already went corner. What interior linemen are available? Lindstrom, but that's going to be probably late 4th, early 5th. What about tackles? Abraham Lucas is available. He might be the guy to go to, honestly. Because I don't really want to double up on linebacker here. You could argue you could argue, sorry, we could argue that you could double up on edge right here and, really make that D line a lot younger and faster. I'm just not sure if that's really what they would do here. You know what? Let's go ahead and go Abraham Lucas. Or no. No, we're going to go Kyle Phillips from UCLA. Give Jalen Hurts a weapon. Give him a better chance to succeed. Because really, I think the offensive line's pretty good. And if they do get offensive line help, I think it should be on the interior. So, yeah, give them a receiver instead and Kyle Phillips. Now the Steelers are on the board. I think at this point, honestly, they're going to want linebacker help. I think Beavers and Quay Walker are the best linebackers available. I think I like Quay Walker more than Beavers, to be honest. Beavers is really good too. It's really close there. But yeah, I think we're going to go Quay Walker. Then the Patriots are on the board, and we'll have them snag... We'll go ahead and have them take Mario Goodrich from Clemson. Now the Raiders are on the board. I'm going to go ahead and give them... We'll give them Abraham Lucas. They need a tackle and guard. They already got their guard. Let's go ahead and give them tackle now. Now the Cardinals are on the board. We'll go ahead and give them... let's go ahead and give them... Well, no, because they've already got James Conner. So they don't really need running back. They have had some tight end issues. I don't know, though. They've got Zach Ertz, but I know he's had some injury issues. We could go interior D-line and go Zachary Carter. Or we could go James Cook. That is actually Dalvin Cook's little brother, and he is really good. Man, I don't even know what to do right here. Let's just go best player available. And honestly, I think I've got to agree with this board and say Darian Beavers is best player available. It's so hard to judge for need this late in the draft. You kind of just got to go best player available. Unless it's already a position that, like, you have plenty of depth and a star right there. Cowboys on the board right here, and I think we can go ahead and go Zachary Carter right here. Bills now on the board. Go ahead and give them... I'll be honest, guys. I'm not real confident in Zach Moss. I mean, maybe if they gave him and Devin Singletary more touches, they'd be more productive. But they don't have a good run game whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them James Cook. I think he can be a really good running back in the league as well. I'm not saying he's gonna be Dalvin Cook, but I mean, they've got the same genes. I mean, who knows? He might be on that level too. But either way, I'm not real confident in Zach Moss. Not real confident in Devin Singletary either, to be honest. I think they need to just completely rebuild that offensive line and run game. But now the Titans are on the board. We're going to go ahead and give them linebacker. We'll give them Leo Chenal. Now the Bucks are on the board. Gronk is probably going to leave in free agency. I like Greg Dulcich actually more than Jalen Weidermeyer. So we're going to go with Greg Dulcich. Then the Packers are now on the board. We're going to go ahead and go Nick Bonito. He finally falls off the board right here. 49ers, we're going to go ahead and go with, I think I like Marcus Jones a little bit more than Alontae Taylor. Chiefs now on the board, and let's go ahead and go. I think we go ahead and go with Alontae Taylor. Get some cornerback help. Bills are back on, excuse me, back on the board. Sorry, I forgot about that trade earlier. I was like, I thought I already picked for the Bills, but yeah, no, I remember. You know what? Let's go ahead and snag a corner. I think out of all these guys, I think I actually like Martin Emerson the most. So let's go with Martin Emerson. Broncos are on the board. Let's go ahead and go. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go with Sam Williams from Ole Miss. Lions are now on the board, and let's go ahead and go with cornerback Michael Wright from Oregon. Now the Browns are on the board. Now they can take linebacker Channing Tindall. Ravens now on the board. We're going to go ahead and give them safety Kirby Joseph from Illinois. Saints are now on the board, and I think we go ahead and give them. Let's see. I think we go ahead and give them Rashid Walker because, let's be honest, I think they're probably going to lose Teron Armstead in free agency. So then the Dolphins are on the board. Let's go ahead and give them Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama. Give them some more weapons. Chiefs on the board. They need some help in the run game. I'm going to go ahead and give them Kyron Williams. Now we've got the Rams. And honestly, I think the pick here has got to be. I'm thinking probably linebacker. So we go Jojo Doman. And now we start the 4th round, and we've got the Jags on the board, and I think let's go ahead and give them corner. I actually like Kobe Bryant and Josh Joby the most. I'm not a big fan of Cam Taylor-Britt, so let's go Kobe Bryant right here. Browns now on the board. I think now let's go ahead and go with Demary Mathis from Pittsburgh. Panthers now on the board after not having a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Go ahead and snag a guard in Spencer Burford. Now the Seahawks are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them. I think we're going to give them tight end Jake Ferguson from Wisconsin. Ravens now on the board. Honestly, we'll give them linebacker Jesse Luketa. I think he's the best linebacker remaining. Jets on the board. We've kind of already addressed the big needs for the Jets. So I think at this point we kind of just go best player available. I think that honestly might be Brandon Smith from Penn State. Now the Giants are on the board, and we go ahead and go. Honestly, let's go ahead and get Khalil Shakir from Boise State. The Commanders are on the board, and now let's go ahead and give them some guard help and get Alec Lindstrom. This is a guy that honestly, now that I look back at it, the Panthers probably should have taken. So these picks, honestly, probably should have been swapped, because I actually like Alec Lindstrom more than Spencer Burford. I kind of forgot Lindstrom was on the board at the time of the Panthers pick, but either way, they're both solid prospects. So I don't think the Panthers really got gypped there. But yeah, the Falcons are on the board now, and let's go ahead and give them. Let's go ahead and give them Cordell Volson from North Dakota State. Guys, we're starting to get into some names that I'm not incredibly familiar with, but I'm sure we'll know more about them, about a lot of these guys after the combine. So now the Broncos are on the board, and let's go ahead and give them. Honestly, I heard that Melvin Gordon didn't really want to go back to the Broncos. I can't remember if he's a free agent either, or if he just didn't want to go. But yeah, I hear he's not wanting to play with the Broncos. So we'll go ahead and give them Brian Robinson from Alabama. Alabama produces good running backs. So Seahawks on the board here, and I think we go ahead and go with corner. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go with cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt. And then the Jets are now on the board, and we'll go ahead. Honestly, we'll just double up on corner at this point. I really like Josh Joby. I don't think you can really go wrong with him. Browns are on the board now, and they also go, I think, with corner in Nehemiah Pritchett from Auburn. And then now the Ravens are on the board. I think now let's go ahead and go with Matthew Butler from Tennessee. Get younger on the D-line. Saints on the board now. Now the Saints go ahead and get insurance in case they don't get Jameis Winston back. And Bailey Zappi, like I said, I think he's going to be a stud. I really think he's going to be a beast in the NFL. But yeah, Dolphins now on the board. We'll go ahead and give them Troy Anderson from Montana State. Colts go and give them Tyreek Smith. For the Chargers, I think let's go ahead and go with Terrell Bernard. I think is the best player available. For the Eagles, we're going to go ahead and go with Justin Schaefer from Georgia. Like I said earlier, Eagles don't really need much help on the offensive line, but where they do need help is on the interior. I don't think they really need much tackle help, unless they were to, for whatever reason, trade Jordan Mailata, but I don't think they're going to. Now the Dolphins are on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them. We'll give them Sterling Weatherford. Raiders now on the board, and we go ahead and give them Alec Pierce from Cincinnati. Good route runner. Patriots now on the board, and we'll go ahead and give them Nick Cross from Maryland. Ravens on the board again. Now we give them, I think, Tyrese Robinson. Help that interior offensive line a little bit. Cowboys are now up, and let's go ahead and give them tight end Jalen Weidermeyer. I mean, at this point, like, they don't need a tight end, but, like, Weidermeyer, if he falls this far, any team who takes him is just going to get a really good tight end. So, I think it makes sense. Bills are now up, and honestly, I don't think it'd really hurt to double up on corner and go with Jalen Watson. But instead, since we passed on Trevor Penning earlier, I think we go ahead and go with Andrew Stueber. Because like I said, they need to rebuild that whole offensive line. I think Stueber makes sense. Titans are now up, and we'll go ahead and go with Jermaine Lull. I think so you say it, from Arizona State. I almost said Ohio State. I don't know how I got Ohio out of Arizona, but Yeah, now the Packers are on the board, and we go ahead and go with... I think we go ahead and go with Donovan West from Arizona State. Now the Bucks are up, and we're going to go ahead and go with cornerback Jalen Watson from Washington State. 49ers are up, and I'm going to go ahead and give them Dameon Pierce from Florida. Chiefs are now on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them running back Tyler Batty. Or actually, no, I like Jerome Ford more, to be honest. Bengals are on the board now, though, and we're going to go ahead and give them John Ridgeway. They really just need to fix the trenches. That means offensive line and D-line. They need some help on both sides. So, there you go. Texans are now on the board. We give them a Caleb Evans. Saints are now up, and I think the pick has got to be Isaiah Thomas from Oklahoma. Now the Steelers are up, and we go ahead and go with... Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the running backs they have behind Najee Harris, so I think we go ahead and go with Hassan Haskins from Michigan. If I remember right, I think Hassan Haskins had a really good performance at the Senior Bowl. I feel like I remember hearing his name quite a bit at the Senior Bowl. Ravens are now on the board, and they go ahead and go with... I think they got to go receiver. And, yeah, Danny Gray would be a solid pick right here. Now the Packers back on the board, and... yeah, let's go ahead and go with Chigoziem Okonkwo. Ravens are now on the board, and we go ahead and go... Honestly, with how many running back injuries they had this last year, they can't have enough insurance. Let's go ahead and go with Rachaad White from Arizona State. Rams are now on the board. We go ahead and go with Tyson Anderson. Get some safety help. And lastly, last pick of the 4th round is the Titans. And let's go ahead and go with Garrett Prince from UAB. So there you have it. After almost an hour and a half, my 4-round mock draft. I know there's a lot of guys there that I just kind of sped through. That 4th round, there's probably going to be a lot of picks you guys disagree with, but the 4th round's kind of hard to really know a whole lot about some of the prospects, especially where they haven't really performed at the combine yet. But yeah, guys, overall, let me know what you think of this 4-round mock draft. Spent a lot of time on it, as you can tell, so please make sure to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Honestly, share it out. You know, let's get this video to 5,000 views, which I haven't had in a while. You know, usually my mocks hit, 1,000 to 2,000 views. Guys, let's get this one to 5,000. Let's do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.